Good afternoon. Today we are at the WMB1 radio studios, and today we are interviewing about six New Bedford youth who are obviously on their summer break, and we're going to be talking about some concerns that they want to talk about that are happening here locally in New Bedford. All right. Without further ado, we're going to get started, and we're going to talk about it. So first and foremost. We have a couple of changes that the panel here is concerned about. The first one is about restrictions that are being put on youth at the North Dartmouth Mall. So as we know, if you are not 18 and you are there on the weekend, you may be asked to leave, or you may be forced to call your parents. How do we feel about that rule that's being implemented? Don't be shy. Hop in.
I think it should go like both ways because like if you're young, don't be doing like dumb things for you to get like kicked out. But like if you're older, like it's like the same. I don't know how to explain it. Like everything should apply to like everybody.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I feel like if you're acting up, then they should call your parents. But like if you're just like chilling, like just going to the store buying something, like you'll be good. Like you shouldn't get in trouble just for walking around if you look young.
Now, a show of hands. Who goes to the mall on the weekends a lot? Everybody. Does it? Now when you go there on the weekends, is it just for casually to hang out, to sightsee? Or are you buying things?
Buying things. It's like a mix of both.
Yeah, it's a combination.
Okay. So basically, the overwhelming consensus is you don't feel that there should be age restrictions, that you should be able to come and go in a mall as you please, as you would any other mall, right?
I feel like you should like get a warning if you do something bad or like say you get in trouble there. Then you should get a warning, like 2 warnings. Then if they see you again, then you get in trouble or something
I
like
feel
that.
like the easiest way that they would be able to do that is like what they're gonna do for like the age restrictions because if they're not gonna there's so many people that go to the mall they're not gonna know everyone that has a warning or everyone that can't be allowed to come
True.
unless it's like people outside of the mall.
It's kind of hard to keep a
Yeah.
database on everybody.
Yeah.
That would be thousands and thousands of kids.
So I think they're doing it just because that's the easiest way to go about it. But I also don't think that's gonna work or that they're gonna force it like apply.
Yeah, it's kind of punishment for the kids who don't get in any trouble.
Yeah.
Not all kids are bad, not all adults are bad, but then again, you have adults that get in trouble and you have kids that get in trouble. But for the kids who don't get in trouble, it's almost it's like almost punishing them as well. So I see what you're saying there. Anybody else want to add to it?
I think that they should do what they do in Providence Mall. They take photos of kids. No, I'm being for real though. They take shut up, Berlin. What they do is the fact that they take a photo of a kid or something and then like give them like a little ticket and put them up on the little wall in the security.
Wow.
They put them on the wall in the security room and like when next time you go there, like if you get caught, I don't know what they said next time you come here you're gonna get arrested. It doesn't matter if you're a minor or not. If you break the rule, then apparently you're gonna get arrested, or they're gonna have your parent like come and pick you up and like notify them and stuff. It's crazy though.
So they give you no trespassing papers,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, and you gotta sign it too with your name. Mm.
That's an alternative. At least that's only punishing.
Pretty
That's
extreme
that's
there.
but that's only.
I really was.
But you think about it, right? It's only punishing the kids who do
It
wrong.
depends on what you did though.
But still, yeah, it's only punishing the kids that do wrong. That's not for everybody across the board, right? Then let me get something correct. Is there an age restriction at the Providence Place Mall?
I'm not sure, but from my from my knowledge, I know if your parent gets kicked out, then you'll get kicked out with them as well. Or like say if you like say if you come with a friend or something and they're getting kicked out, they'll offer you like you can still stay, but if you want to go with them, then you could go, but you're not gonna get like the waiver and stuff what they have.
Okay.
But like you gotta go, basically.
All right. Yeah, well, like I said, it almost seems as if I don't know how much problems. Do you guys see a lot of problems going on the weekend at the Dartmouth Mall? Do you see like fights
So I have a question. The
Not no
age
more.
restriction is only like it's only on the weekends.
only on the weekends?
It's like after 5.
Um,
It's after 5.
okay, so is it after 5?
Yeah, we read it. It was on
Okay,
the door.
so it's after 5 p.m. You have to be how old?
18.
Yeah.
Wait, so you can't go to like a movie or no?
I don't know if that applies to movies. I
Probably
don't think
not.
it does. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
don't
so.
The movie theater, even though it's connected to the mall, that got nothing to do with
But
it.
also,
Mhm.
if you're like, I don't know if that applies, but I know that if you're seeing like a rated R movie, you have to be like 18 or something.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
17. You have to be 17.
Nah, because it shouldn't apply because whenever the mall be closing, the movie
The
theater
the
still
AMC
be
is
open.
still open, so
So
I
it
don't
shouldn't
know.
apply
I don't-
at all. And if it does, Dartmouth Mall, we got beef.
I mean, they'd be losing out on a lot of money, especially with it like the one they're placing now with the age restriction. I feel like they could potentially be losing money if they're gonna be kicking kids out on the weekends after 5. If they're not 18, they could be losing money because like
Yeah, because
I mean,
we're the paycheck.
I mean, I like to shop there and I'm 17, so like if you kick me out, you're losing money. So
Now, once again, do you guys see? Is this something that happened? Obviously, it has to have been quite a few incidents where they're literally punishing everybody. Um, I know a big thing. I know a big thing working with some of the kids that there used to be a lot of kids that used to hang around from schools, and there used to be incidents with say like with Volk and maybe Dartmouth or New Bedford and Volk. There used to be like inter school little problems. Um, you know, I've heard of it. I don't go to the mall much, so I can't say that I see it, um, but that could be one of the reasons. Um, but I mean, if you guys are saying that you guys don't see much, I'm just wondering where this is stemming from.
I mean, I feel like it's more of like the more middle school kids because from like my age group, I feel like I don't see that, but like I do see like stuff on social media, and it's more like middle school level.
So it's the younger kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
I feel like it should be 16 and up or like 15 and up.
Yeah,
Okay.
15.
Well, you think about it, right? At high school, when you went to high school, you're usually 14, 15, going.
Yeah, I feel like
14,
it should be for sophomores and up.
Okay. All right.
I said
Now
juniors because we're going to be a junior.
he said juniors because they're going to be juniors. Now, with a show of hands, who is no freshman in here?
Mm-mm.
Like,
Soph-
what do you mean, going
so-
in?
what grade are you going to be? No, so
Sophomore.
going into sophomore, how many sophomores do we have? We have 2. How many going to be juniors do we have? So we have 3, 4. All right.
Damn.
So it's 4 and 2, and I mean, the way I see it is obviously, I think everyone is old enough. This is just my view. I think once you hit the age of 15 and 16, I think as being young adults, I think by placing a little more of onus and being able to act responsible and being accountable for yourself. All right, that's I think I think putting an age restriction is a bit much, as far as going to the mall. Um, but like I said, once again, I don't know what precipitated it as far as them putting an age restriction. Now let's switch speeds. So now there's an age restriction that's going to be taking place for the festivals. All right. So we just seen what went on at the New Bedford Festival, and there was a stabbing, and it was some young kids, 15 years old. So now the mayor is talking about um, placing, daylight restrictions, or maybe even age restrictions. I'm not quite sure what it is. Um, but once again, it's almost to the point where one bad incident affects everybody. So everybody's getting punished for it now. I don't know if that's the right answer for it. How you guys feel about it?
Before anyone speaks, I do want to say I'm sorry to the person's family that are going through that, and to the person. Before anyone says anything, but I do feel like it is unfair because some people don't have that violent part of like in them, so it shouldn't count as everyone. Like, and for kids like that, they literally have places for them, and they should stay in those type of places. Like, and like I always say, play there's a place and time for everything, and you know that that was not the place and time to be arguing with nobody or causing no problems with nobody when people are having an event to have fun and stuff. So, and especially when there's any type of age group around, it's unacceptable to get out of character and show that side of yourself. You should always be the calmest out of all calm, no matter what, because once people know that side, they know your vulnerable side, and people like getting that reaction out of people, especially up north. They really do like seeing a person get mad.
Well spoken. Yeah.
Thank you.
But the phrase is time and a place.
Time and place, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, time and place.
You know what I was trying to say though. That's why I stopped before I said it. I was like, wait a minute, what is it? But I know.
Anyone else want care to add to that?
I think it's all just like a maturity thing. That's really. I don't think doing an age restriction or a time restriction is really going to do anything because at the end of the day, all it really is like the person and how mature they are and responsible with themselves and how they carry themselves to make the actions that they make. People could do what they do in daylight or nighttime. I don't think restriction from going at nighttime is really going to stop people from doing what they are.
I agree. I agree. If people are going to start trouble, it'll be in broad daylight or it'll be at night. I don't think that it's like a burglary, like somebody's going to try to sneak in the middle of the night and not be seen. If someone's got their mind made up that they're going to commit some type of violence, it'll be in daylight or it'll be at night. It just, I agree with that 100%. And in my comments, I did put that in the New Bedford Guide, like no one's ever been stabbed in the daylight.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do something, they're gonna do it, regardless of whether it's daytime or it's nighttime. Anyone else want to add?
I have a question. What happens when you're out past 8 though? Like, what is the government really gonna do? Like, ooh,
Well, no, that's only at those festivals.
only at those festivals.
That's only at those festivals. So basically, I don't know what they plan on or how they plan on managing. I would expect they probably bracelets or something that'll indicate an age limit. Um, but if you're caught there, chances are, they'll probably tell you to leave. If you come back once again, then they'll revert to the Providence Place Mall, take a picture of you, put you up on the bad list, or I don't know. And all the details aren't readily available, but we shall see. Anyone else want to add to it?
How are they gonna figure out you're not that age?
I'm guessing with bracelets.
Because you really think they're gonna
Well, no-
ID everybody
Yeah.
there.
Well, yeah.
Well,
when you
the
get
big-
in, they're gonna.
You know,
They-
kids be having fake ones.
Yeah.
So-
And you know people will sneak in.
it's a simple. It's a simple, right? If you can't provide documentation stating that you are of the legal age, then they're going to consider you a minor. Oh, I don't have an ID. Okay, you're a minor, right away. I mean, the process has to be simple, but it has to be clear. So, if you are 18, then you're going to want to show identification to say that I am 18. It'll be that simple. Um, but yeah, I mean, as far as trying to finagle it with, IDs, school IDs, but that'll be it. I don't know. Like I said, but that's the easiest thing. Excuse me. Anyone else want to add? No. Um, all right. So if we don't have anything else to add about the restrictions on the festivals, um, some of the other concerns that you guys were talking about was ice, right? We before the program started, we asked, and there was some people that were talking about ice. What are your concerns about ice?
Go ahead.
It's not just me, but yeah, I know I'm mislegal, but
Like it.
but I just feel like, especially with like the earliest, actually no, the latest incident in Maine, I feel like ICE is just taking a toll on people, and it's just like I feel like they're not acting in the most appropriate way that they should be, and I feel like there is a right way to handle like their ICE operations, and they're acting on people who are citizens, and people are dying, like, and it's just like not okay. Like,
How do you think they should handle it?
I feel like they should, like, a lot of them are just not like identifying themselves, and it's like people don't know who you are, and like they're not acting in the right way, like professionally.
As far as you're talking about the ICE officers.
Yeah.
So what do you think they should do? So
I feel like they should. I feel like they should identify themselves and act appropriate, and make sure they have the right person. Like, because a lot of the people who are actually like dying are people who are citizens of the United States, or like people who are legal. Like, yeah, you could be from another country, like the guy from Colombia, but like he was he's a citizen, and he's been in the United States for like a couple years or so. But I just feel like it's wrong and it's sad, and I feel like no one should have to go through like what the family's going through, or what he should be here today. And if that was carried out the right way, then he would have been.
So do you think that better training for the ICE officers?
And I feel there was just rumors that like that specific one of them, they had they had a record of violence in their behavior, and I believe it was like the wife that was saying like he did something to her or something like that, and she was speaking up about it.
So they hiring anybody.
I don't know, I feel like they should look into like their past and like
Their background?
yeah, and like just like do a background check or something.
See if they're worthy of their job.
What's the process? Like, how long does it take to become an ICE officer? Do you know? Or?
No, I'm not sure, but like I feel like if you're like they're pretty like important, and like they do like heavy stuff, but I feel like with that process of like hiring them, it should take a while,
Yeah, it shouldn't just be like.
and like it should be in depth. It shouldn't be like something that takes like a month or two. I feel like it should be longer if it's not.
Sort of like the police officers, right?
Yeah,
Police
of course.
officers, it's a long time. It's months before you have to go to an academy. You have to do studying. You have to take tests. You have to qualify certain things. You have to qualify. Yeah, I agree. There should be it should be a little more strict, especially where a lot of money is being allocated to ICE. There's a lot of funds that are being allocated. So, anyone else?
I think it's a hard thing to talk about, especially because like what's going on right now. But I feel like really all it is a stereotype. If somebody looks a certain way, that's it. You're getting deported. And I don't think that's fair, especially because there are a lot of people that are getting deported that are citizens and that have family down here and have grown up here. And I don't think that just because you look a certain type of way or you act a certain type of way or you dress a certain type of way, that deserves for your life to essentially be ruined and taken away. And I also don't think that yes, a part of it could be like more training, but I also feel like it's just moral belief. I feel like if you're an ICE officer, you go there with the intent of what you're going there for, and you know what your job is going to be. And it's up to the person if they want to do it the right way or they want to do it the wrong way.
Anyone else want to add to it?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Like, what do you guys think about that? Like, from what you've seen on like, no, because like I want to get you guys involved. Like seeing social media and just like knowing about ICE and like incidents on social media. Like, what do you think about them? Like,
my thoughts is basically is I think that people hurt people very, like, it's a saying, people hurt people. So with all of the built up history with every single race that is in this world, eventually we're all, I don't want to say this in that way, but I feel like eventually we all are gonna have like an animosity or like a hatred towards the other race because that's what the government in certain places have embedded inside of our heads. And racism is taught. So say if an ICE worker has been, their entire childhood has been taught to hate certain races, and now they have to deal with those races at work. Why do you think that people are being so violent to other people? Same things with cops being rude to black people. It's literally, in my eyes, I look at it like if it's the same scenario. So like the ICE workers being rude to immigrants is the same way that I look at it. Like if it's a white man, a white cop beating on a black man, that's the same way that I look at it because it's kind of given the same type of scenario of how they have so much hatred and how they don't take their job as serious and how they lose control that fast when they know that they're supposed to be in their professional state of mind and not treating the person as if it's a fight or flight fight or flight, god darn it. And I just feel like you could really handle things a lot differently if you really just sit there and think about what you do before, and if you like try to hear out the person and understand and explain to a person what's going on before you physically touch a person and give them their badge number and like stuff like that. Like even though you're the one who's in power, whatever you want to say it, you still have the right. They still have the right to get their questions answered as well. And I feel like a lot of immigrants have not been getting their questions answered, nor have been treated like they're human beings. They have been treated like if they're animals locked up in a cage, and that's not how you treat a human being, nor an animal in a cage either. So I feel like us human beings need to just do better as a whole. And like if you were them, like put yourself in that person's shoes. If that was you or your mom or your cousin or whoever you love that's more than yourself, or that boyfriend that you love so much, then think about it like that. Because if that was a person that you love, you would not want to see them like that. So I feel like we just need to do better. Just simple.
what do you guys think? I want to hear from you guys here.
I mean, I agree with that.
I don't know. I don't really have a, like opinion.
Yeah.
Because I don't really.
You don't see it.
I don't see it as much.
That's not on like my feeds either. I don't really watch that or pay attention as much.
I just hope so.
Now I heard earlier. I heard in the conversation when we were talking about, I heard somebody make comparisons to how Obama did it as to how it's being implied today. Can anyone talk about that?
Sure. Sure.
Obama for pres.
So I know that Obama, like he deported immigrants as well, and I feel like the reason why it's like so like there's so much hate for it, and like there's so much going on with like people dying, and like people are, like hate ICE officers and all that. Like the reason why it's like so like popular and everybody's like realizing it is because the way it's carried out now, and the way it's being carried out by Trump is like the totally wrong way. Like there was more people deported with Obama than with Trump, and the reason why like it's now being seen as like such a bad thing is because it's being done the wrong way. And I feel like it should be done the right way, and we wouldn't have these issues, and people wouldn't be so upset today with how it's being done. So if it's done the right way, then we wouldn't have no issues. Like there's people being mistreated, and there's people who are American citizens dying. And I just feel like it shouldn't be done this way.
So what's the right way?
So Obama, like,
He deported more.
yeah,
So when you say the wrong way, what do you mean by the wrong way?
like
Violence.
Yeah,
Like
violence. Yeah.
Violence.
Okay.
And they don't be showing the papers to prove that certain people be leaving before they leave too. Like they just be like, you gotta go without showing no paperwork.
Also, like, there's like this TikTok account of the White House, I believe. I don't know which account it is, but there's like
Apparently they're stalking people.
what?
What?
That
Where you
TikTok
think
account. You didn't know that?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
But
okay.
there's like videos
Oh, stop.
of
What did they give me?
All right, listen.
Wow.
There's videos of like immigrants being deported to like happy music, upbeat music, like it's a good
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Like there's no reason to record that. There's no reason to be happy about that. Like that should be done in a private way. Like it shouldn't be like that. Like those are like people's families. Like it should be a private thing. There's nothing happy about that. Like I don't know. I just feel like that's embarrassing, and that's like a lot of shame on them.
Humiliating.
Yeah.
I don't understand how there could be any mix up like with somebody who's a citizen and somebody who's not, because if you're looking for somebody, are they not like in the system? Can you not just like look them up and see if they're a citizen or not? Like how does that work? Like you can't just check.
racially profiling. Who said
So,
that?
so to give you context, right? So some of the people who are being deported, all right, are some people who may have, they may be going through the due process, all right, for for either if they're here on a temporary visa. Let's say you come from another country, you come here and you apply to work for 2 years and you overstay it, okay, but you actually put your paperwork in to extend it. There are cases where people who have been apprehended and deported while their paperwork is still being processed. That is one of the ways in which they're getting some of the illegal, what they call illegal aliens out of, being deported. Um, some others, have had, their time limit run out, and they haven't 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years have looked for them, and they evade the law and they do it. But I think if people are, say you put in and you're extending your stay with a visa, then you should be able to have that due process and not be apprehended and sent back because the process is going through. And once again, if you are not someone who has committed violent crimes, right, that's another area, right. um, if you are an active if you are actively, if you're helping the economy with a job, and you pay your taxes, and you are looking to stay, further, I see that obviously the process should go through, but there are some people who they aren't letting have that process. They are apprehending them and sending them out to these detention camps and putting them on the first plane they got back to. Some not even to their home.
Yeah.
Some not even to their home countries. Um, so what happens is there are um, certain countries that have said, okay, we'll take them and we'll put them in our prisons, and we're paying them because they're some of the countries won't take them. You know what I'm saying? So they're sending them to foreign countries that aren't even of their origin, and they're putting them, in harm's way that way. Imagine if, imagine just being, if we were to pick you up and grab you and say, okay, you're going to El Salvador. But I wasn't born in El Salvador. I was born in Puerto Rico. Excuse me, not Puerto Rico. I was born in Haiti. I was born, so that's like culture shock in its own. But that's some of the things that are going on. So I understand what you're saying by, the right, it's not being done the right way. I'm just trying to get it out a little more.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like, sorry for cutting you off. I cut you off.
no,
I
that's
feel
fine.
like
That's fine.
I don't like how everyone like Trump or whoever says, I don't like how they call them illegal aliens. That means like,
Yes.
I just hate that. I hate the word like illegal, like alien. I just hate that. And I feel like the officers, they should tell the people if they arrest them or like look at the people. I feel like they should tell them that they're an ICE officer, because some of them they'll just grab them out of the car. Like that could be a kidnapping. They could think you're kidnapping them literally. Like that's how I feel though.
Yeah, no, I think that just as with uh, police officers who are in the towns and in the cities, in the state police, you see them there, you see their face. As you said, there are a lot of people who impersonate people to try to home invasion. Now we know, there's been cases where people have tried to abduct people for human trafficking. All right, there's cases out there. There's a lot of things. So it's important that I mean, as kids, right? We're taught never to speak to strangers, never to talk to no one that you know. It's the same way with law enforcement. If we don't know, someone comes up with a mask, and you don't know who they are, you can't see their face. No,
Yeah.
and they don't want to, they don't want to answer any questions. They just want to grab people. So yeah, I think that is a big difference from the Obama to Trump right there. The ICE officers for Obama were not doing that, but the ICE agents for Trump are currently doing that. And he cites it because they're in fear of their safety. That's his reasoning. Go ahead.
I also feel like it's scary because if you see an officer without seeing their face, automatically that's a red flag. I have no reason to be scared of the police from my own life experiences, but I am scared of the police. So, see, it's the same thing if a police officer sees a little black boy with a ski mask on, all of a sudden y'all want to racially profile him. So why do you think that it's okay for you to come up to whomever and try to not only that but physically touch them and come out of them out of the blue when they don't, like, when they're just minding their own business majority of the time? And even if they're not minding their own business, seeing without seeing the police officer's face is scary. You guys are supposed to look like you guys are supposed to help us, not be against us. ICE officers too. You guys need to, like, and even if you're like, even if you're not helping them at that time, there's ways to make a person feel comfortable when you're doing an uncomfortable action. Point blank. Period. You can say it nicer. You can, like, there's so much different things that you can do, like, to go about situations. So just same thing that your mama used to tell you: think before you speak. Just simple. You gotta think before you do.
I know you was thinking about this like a whole hour. That's like well said again. That's well said.
Now, has anybody come into contact with anybody who's been affected by ICE? Do you know anybody in school who maybe their parents have been taken by ICE, or does anyone know? Has anyone ever coming
My
to
old friends from Virginia. I used to be friends with like three, like 4 or 5 different Spanish girls. And 2 of them got deported with their families.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My friend was telling me the story how her friend was not coming to school because she was scared that she was going to get detained at school, and her parents like not allowing her to go to school.
Yeah, because let's face it, if some of the tactics that they're using is they would get the kids, knowing full well that if they got the kids, then the parents would come.
Yeah.
So it was like a trap. It's basically like a trap. There was a lot of concerns for a lot of the Guatemalan community who were expressing that because we do know that there is a huge Guatemalan population here in New Bedford, that they were afraid to come. A lot of them would literally, walk their kids to the bus stop, and that's what a lot of the ICE agents were doing. They were pretty much raiding the bus stops, and that has to be kind of traumatic for young kids to see guys coming out running with masks and grabbing people. That would be a skit. That wouldn't be a comfortable
Yeah,
feeling.
that's scary.
Yeah, I don't think
You
that
know?
Wait,
they
what's the
should
background?
allow that in kids settings, depending on the age, especially if it's like elementary
Oh.
school students.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
I didn't know.
all right. So we all can see on the screen. There's a
Yeah.
comment. Okay. There's a comment that's
That's
being left
big,
here.
yo.
Okay. I'll read it out. It was the same when Obama was in office as it is today. The difference is social media. There is more in your face info today. Look at the New Bedford raid in the South End when both mom and dad got taken and they had to find out what to do for so many that came home from school with no one home. It would be more of a big deal today than back then based on how information is out there today. All right. So then, in response to that, somebody said, "Ignore him. He's MAGA." Okay. Um, so make America great again. That's
Yo,
basically
why,
somebody
yo?
who supports
That's
Trump.
why I was like,
Yeah.
So listen, I'm going to listen. I'm going to play both sides of the fence because I think it's important for us to see how people who are opposing it view it. Because if you don't know how someone's thinking, then you don't know what their mind frame is. Um, it, it- you know, Unfortunately, not everybody's going to think the same. Not everyone's going to be the same. But to hear people out is a civil thing. All right. Now, if you choose not to hear them or you choose not to talk with those, that's a personal decision. But in a lot of my cases, a lot of things, I try to look at both sides and let them air their. He believes that he's saying that it was different, but because of the fact that there's social media, it's in your face. Well, you know what? That can work in both ways, right? Um, a lot of times, back in the day, we didn't know about police brutality, right? And Will Smith said it best. We didn't know about it because it wasn't being filmed.
Mhm.
With technology, anyone and everyone can pull out phones and expose the truth and the reality, right? So with technology and over time, we've come to learn things, and one of the most powerful things is documenting it, right? If you see something going on, film it. All right, because once again, I point to police brutality. Um, the easiest way to prove truth is to film it, albeit sometimes it doesn't. You can provide film, and there have been officers or people who have done things. I won't just say officers, but there have been people who have done things and they still gotten off. I mean, how many videos did we see of people being choked or people being shot, running away, and they still get off? I mean, it doesn't always work, but it helps documenting things. So he's basically saying that because of social media now, it's in your face. I tend to disagree with that because that's just another form of documenting things, right? So if you can document it, that's more proof. All right. The more proof you get, the more evidence you get, the more it helps you in court. Um, Once again, we talked about it, right? Um, so when Obama was doing it, it wasn't done in this fashion. There weren't guys who were mass running up to people and just grabbing them. All right. Um, many of them were given their due process, and if they didn't, if they were here for 8, 10 years illegally, yes, with no trying not to re-up on your basically on your status of being here, yeah, then you would go. But we see people that are literally in immigration court, and they are being dragged out of immigration court.
What?
Yes, yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Um, and like I said, there's a paper trail. They got due process, but it's like, okay, no, you're out of here. One of those type of things. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are different today. And he'll say what he has to say. In my response, I would say those things. There's a difference in how they're going about doing it. One is enforcing it. Um, Basically snatch and grab. The other one was like, okay, show me your paperwork. You know, um, when Obama was president, there were cell phones. It wasn't like there wasn't cell phones. The quality may not have been as great as it is now, but there were cell phones back then, and people were filming back then too. So I tend to not agree with that comment, but nevertheless, I will put it up there for all to see and to look at it.
I think either way, even if it was recorded or not, it's still wrong. Like even if it was recorded, if somebody saw it, just because like when Obama was president, it wasn't recorded. Now that Trump's president, it is recorded. It's still wrong. It's the way that the ICE administration, when Trump is in office, they're still doing it wrong and in the wrong ways and still hurting people.
Once again, we talked about um, giving people due process, giving them humility. Right? She referenced about happy music and stuff like that. Um, there's a way about doing it, about doing. I think the way that it's being done now is like shock. Like
And
we're
also,
not used to seeing it.
our president is so like for ICE and for getting rid of immigrants that it makes it worse. Just how like he talks about immigrants and he talks about people of race and people of color.
He's racist.
It makes it worse for the
Yeah.
ICE people and the way they want to go about it.
Listen, there's something that's important, right? Um, that a lot of us, I think a lot of us do know, but it all depends on who's in office. So the people who are in office are always going to put out a narrative that supports what they do and what they want. So you're going to see more of it. But we know in like I said, in all life there are good people, there are bad people. There are good teachers, there are bad teachers. There's good cops, there's bad cops. And you just try to treat people, the way you would want to be treated, right? It comes down to that. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Anyone else want to add to it?
Yeah. I think like a lot of people look at ICE like people who are like anti-ICE and be like, oh, like why are they anti-ICE? Like they're like fighting for like criminals. Like why would you want criminals here? Like I feel like a lot of people would support ICE if like they were deporting like actual criminals. I feel like what a lot of people are speaking about is like people who are here legally, and I feel like that's more of what they're fighting for, not that they're criminals, because I feel like no one would want someone here who is raping a kid or anything like that. Like no one wants that type of person to be here. It's more of like the wrongdoing of ICE, and that's what they're morally like fighting for.
Yeah. Um, Once again, um, we have the same person chiming in, and you guys can respond to this. I'll let you respond to it. It was recorded, but social media was not big as it is today. That's the difference. So if you're blaming social media for how these individuals are doing things, then I tend to not agree with that either.
I feel like it doesn't matter about social media or not, because social media, it always twists up a story or switches it anyways. So regardless,
Not a reliable source.
social media or not, the issue's still occurring. and it still goes on to this day. So regardless, the issue needs to get fixed.
Yeah, I feel like it's like an eye opener. So it's like it doesn't matter like who was in office or anything, or if there was technology better then or now, whatever. It just doesn't matter. If you was doing something wrong, you was doing something wrong. If you wasn't handling it in the right manner, then it's not okay.
I don't think that social media, I don't think that social media has a big influence upon how one person did it and how the other person did it. The numbers still are far more, and still to this day, with Obama as to what Trump did. And you can look the numbers up. Numbers do not lie. Um, but to blame it on social media, I don't think that is, me personally, I don't agree with that. It's just, you can say whatever you want, but we didn't see ICE agents back then running around with masks and shooting people and killing people. I don't care where you're at. Social media would have reported then. Mainstream news would have reported it. Anytime someone's shot and killed in that fashion or in that way, it's news. All right. And until you can show me different, I would tell him, show me different. Show me, what happened back then. It's just the manner of how they're going about and how they're rounding up these people, which is in a lot of cases, it's like I said, it's snatch and grab, faces covered, you know, and it's just we're not used to this behavior here in the United States, right? We see it in other countries, where you don't have rights or you don't do any of that stuff. But when you are in a due process, especially in the law, right, you expect the due process to go through, right, and not be circumvented. Like, okay, you're out of here, you're gone. All right. Um, Anyone else want to add to it?
I feel like with like social media, we know now better to use our phone because it's more of like an eye opener and just like what's happening now. Like there's like a better way to document it by recording and like obviously back then like sometimes like even like back further then there wasn't phones or anything to prove evidence, but more than now ever I feel like today using a phone is very beneficial to show like what's happening and what everyone's experiencing.
Yeah. Once again, it's about documentation, and videoing is a form of documentation. Right. So we know when you go into a court of law, the more evidence you have, the more proof you have, it's going to help your case. Right. So here's another comment. Obama's deportations occurred at the border. They turned the people around there. They didn't hunt them down in the street, smashing grabs.
If if that was effective in Obama's thing, like presidency, why didn't Trump just do that too then?
This is true.
Because, bro, he wanted to change his ways.
You wanted to make
He-
America
he's-
great again.
What he meant by that is make America terrible and horrible.
Wow.
And make us wanna. I feel like if the world keep on going like this, we're gonna end up having a civil war. Like if it's back in the 1800s again, and we all gonna end up killing each other. We need to just chill.
For what?
Civil War was in the 1800s.
No, I was just saying, like,
Wait, was this? I don't think it was. No,
I
it
don't know.
wasn't in
No, it wasn't.
the 1900s. It wasn't.
She was.
I
She
was
was.
just like over exaggerating, but
No,
like that.
Yeah.
definitely in the
Bruh, it's not history. It's a podcast. Leave me alone.
Yeah, no, we don't have to get involved in on dates. We knew what you meant. So your concern is like, listen, if one delegation of people can't get along with the other delegation of people, there's going to be a clash.
Yeah, because I feel like eventually, like all the amount of ICE people that we have is not the amount of immigrants that we have. I'm pretty sure we probably got more immigrants, and even if so, people like it's so easy to outpower another number. It's literally playing number games. all y'all gotta do is like, it's same thing if a school bullies you, and then all of the kids from school now get together and talk about the bully. Now they're defending each other from the bully. It's the same thing how I look at it like that. Like, I don't know. If I was them, I would create mad clubs. I know they be having protests and stuff like that, but I'm the type. I say become a vigilante. We gotta have a riot.
Oh,
No.
wow. That's how people
Definitely
get killed. That's how
that's-
people get killed.
That's a bad idea. I feel like it's more because they're in power. They have guns. They have all kinds of weapons. It doesn't matter whether
I never
they're-
said it was a smart idea. I
But
just said it was an
no.
idea.
It's just like it doesn't even matter if they're
That's how I would feel on the
outnumbered or
inside.
anything. It's just like if you have guns and you have the authority, it's just gonna happen the way they want it to. It doesn't go that way.
Abuse of power.
Well, let me ask you a question then, Miss Legal. How is the people gonna become empowered enough to get their rights back?
Yeah, they could protest. You see it today. They protest peacefully. They protest. Sometimes they.
Well, what do you think
don't-
that's doing right now, though? That's not putting up like any pressure for.
Well, I definitely don't think they should riot. That will send the wrong message. It will,
I said that's how I would feel.
I know, but it
Oh
would
my
definitely
God.
send the wrong message, and people would just look at them even worse than how they probably already see them profiling whatever with their bias. But I feel like they should continue protesting, petitioning, and maybe just talking to their like their council, their mayor, and just try and put in some words like who we elect. They talk to like the president. I don't know that like much about it, but like you can call your mayor and like the people who are in charge of like your state and stuff like that, and you can like
Congressman.
yeah, I don't know too much about it, but like you could call them and you can have them put in some word and speak about it because they are in power. So
Yeah, so it doesn't make a difference. It starts locally, right? So right here in the city, right? We start with our ward, with our whatever, depending on what part of the city you live in, right? It starts with the ward, right? And then from there, it goes to state, right? It goes to our state, and then we go to our we go to whoever represents us in the state.
Yeah.
That'll be going to the
State
government.
representatives.
Yes, a state representative. So it starts anything in that has to do politically. You should always start at the bottom level, which is your city, and then work your way up, city, state, then go to the federal level.
In my old school, I went to an all-girls school, and my school took the 7th and 8th graders to the state house, and we wrote like paragraphs about what's going on and what like we want to like fix or whatever. And we went and we brought it to the state house to talk to like the legislators and stuff. And they were very like listening. They heard what the kids had to say, and I think it helped.
That's their job. So you think about it, right? So when they're elected, they're supposed to be a voice for the people,
Yeah.
not for themselves. They take in turn your concerns.
for the people.
They listen. If they can't, if they try to figure out a plan, and then they try to either pass laws, to help. So yeah, any of the people who are elected, they're there for the people. All right, they're put in place by the people. They were voted by the people. Goes all the way up until right into the president. Now, question. Now, has anyone ever marched in any of the movements? Has anyone ever marched?
Like, what do you mean? Because like I've marched for Labor Day. Not Labor Day. Memorial Day.
No,
and-
for any of the political movements.
Oh no.
I was going to. The one over the
Nah.
bridge,
At my school though, they had I think it was freshman year, like the end of the school year at my school, like everybody like had a little protest at my school, and like they planned a day to everyone run out, like not really.
Wow.
Like run out, everyone leave the classrooms and everyone go outside in front of the school, and everyone had their signs and they was protesting, and they had pizza and all types of stuff. It was cool, but I was inside class. It was freshman year, and I was trying to get them grades up. My dad was not having that, but I would have loved to be out there.
So that was an
Okay.
organized protest.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. In an organized protest, in some way or form.
yeah, my dad was not.
If anyone has ever been involved in one. All right. Anyone else got anything to add about ICE, or anything they want to say before we move on to our last subject? No.
Yeah.
All right. So our last subject will be which I find to be a lot of problems for a lot of the youth. Jobs. All right.
Yes, guys,
jobs.
please hire me.
All right. So we are looking at one right there who needs a job. So
Oh my
anyone out
goodness.
there, anyone watching this podcast right now, if you have any job openings or know of any job openings that are available for youth, when I say youth, I'm talking obviously of the high school age. Please feel free to leave it in the comments so we can talk about it. So yeah, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the concerns about jobs. Who here on this panel is working currently? So I see 3 out of the 6. All right, I see 3 out of the 6, which is half. All right, so the other half are left unemployed. Okay, now this is only for the people who aren't employed. Have you gone to a lot of the businesses in and around the city and tried to sign any applications?
Yes,
No.
I'm desperate.
What happened?
Like I'm desperate.
Snipes
Right.
hire me.
Like,
Snipes needs to hire me.
Snipe. So you want to work? Oh, you want to work at sneakers.
I never look at
I would work for Foot Locker.
for like 40.
I'll work anywhere as
Or
long as
jersey?
you
Or
For
pay.
the ref jersey?
Or Foot Locker.
The ref jersey? The ref
That's
jersey that they wear?
That stuff.
Oh yeah.
So once again, for the people who aren't working, have you tried? Now help me out here. Are there any summer youth programs?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Actually, well, I was like, I work at CVS, but I feel like they don't give me enough hours, so I applied to like a bunch of other things there was like it was like for teens, but I don't quite remember what it was. But they actually called me the other day, and they was like, "Oh, I was wondering if you were still interested because we have interest in you," and they were saying that like their summer programs all booked up, but they have a fall one, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Like mass hire or something like that.
I don't know. It wasn't that. It was just like it was like jobs in the city or something like that for teens or something. I don't know what it exactly was. I don't even remember like what it was exactly that I signed up for or whatever. But they gave me a bunch of options and it actually like sounded pretty good. They asked me like if I was interested in working online or like in person, and I was like, yeah, I'll work in person. And they said you get trained like 80 hours, or you could do an extra 20 for 100, and you literally get paid just to train, and then they pay you $16 an hour, and then after that I'm not sure if you could just work, but my mom thought she heard that, but if so, I feel like that would be such a good deal. But they said I could work on a farm and take care of farm animals and do landscaping, and then they gave me a choice to work in a daycare. And then they also gave me a choice to work in a food bank. But I was interested. Yeah, I was interested in working on the farm. So we'll see, because she told me that she'd email me in August or September for the fall one. But I'm very interested in that.
Now, question: is it just the fact that is it jobs that only you guys are interested in? Like, I hear a lot of people saying, "I want to work in Snipes. I want to work in like Foot Action, Foot Locker, or whatever the case may be." So those jobs may be occupied. As I know it's not the preferred. I know it's not the preferred job of a lot of teens. I see a lot of places, food services that are hiring. No,
Popeyes is
Yeah.
hiring. Yo, Popeyes is hiring. No,
Okay.
for real.
so I see a lot of people
No,
shaking
I
their
am
heads.
too. Like,
Yeah, for real. They actually.
I see a lot, but I do
Popeyes
see
is hiring.
I do see a lot of places that say
Yeah.
that they're hiring.
no, I feel like due to the fact of my age and like the fact that I still ain't get a job yet, they don't want me.
Yeah, I feel like
I
it's
feel like
hard when you never worked for a
Yeah.
first time job. They just are very picky with who they want.
So
So if you already don't have a job or had one prior, then it's just probably like no.
so I'm gonna give you guys a little help here.
Mhm.
All right.
Line the resume.
So if you don't have a job, right, and you are looking for a job, right, to create job history, you may have to take a job that you may necessarily not really is your preferred job destination just to create a job history.
Yeah.
Now, if you sit around and you wait and say, "Oh no, I'm not going to work at McDonald's. I'm not going to work at Burger King or Popeyes because I don't like it." Chances of you landing another job in the way of a Snipes, Foot Locker, Foot Action, they're going to say, "Well, you don't have any job history."
Mhm.
Right? It's almost like getting credit cards. You can't get a credit card because you don't have any credit history, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing when it comes to jobs. If you don't have history, you can't, places might tend to say, well, they've never worked before. But most people, a lot of people start in the food industry. I know a lot of people don't like it, but
Not me.
it gives you history, right? I see a lot of shaking of the heads,
Marshalls.
but it gives you history, right? So
I refuse.
if you don't have a job, sometimes you may have to take a job that you may necessarily not like just to start a job history.
You like working at job?
That will go.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
It's not bad.
what? So like a place like Dunkin' Donuts, right?
No, I would actually work there.
I
You
would
make good
work,
tips
like
there.
I like making drinks. I like making
I
food.
just-
I really do enjoy making food. Like I really do enjoy food. Like I
Do-
really do.
Do you
And
like?
I love
wait, hold on.
making food for
You,
my
you're
family.
saying it like you enjoy it because you like eating it.
No.
You're getting overly excited.
Okay. No, but that is one of the reasons.
Okay,
why
I heard it in
do-
your voice. heard it in
I
your
like
voice.
cooking dinner for my family. I like making drinks for my sister. I really do like making drinks for people. Like, yeah,
Wonderful.
it's tough.
It is. So just a hint, right? If you do not have a job, you are seeking out a job, but you keep striking out. I'm gonna tell you, if you talk to, I want to say if you talk to probably about 90% of your parents, they will tell you their first job was in the food
Yeah,
industry.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
My
Right.
dad said he worked at, like a
Taco
clothing
Bell.
store with his friends, and they would like always joke around.
And
So-
did he get fired though?
but that is probably the one of the easiest jobs to obtain is working in the food industry. I know it might not be your preferred destination, but once again, you have to create a job history, and then once you go on to the next job, once you go sign, they're gonna say, "Hey, this person has some type of experience." They're more they're more apt to pick the person who has that one job working at the McDonald's or the Popeyes as opposed to the person who has no job history
Yeah.
because they know, hey, at least this person has
Learn
worked
customer
before.
service and stuff.
There's a
like
lot of
that,
things that
yeah.
you're going to learn.
You need to learn certain skills before you go to the next level type of thing.
There you go. Some experience is better than no experience. That's the adage right there. So in moving forward, if you don't have a job, once again, it might not be the preferred destination, but
Also,
But-
if you guys have any jobs for me, like hit me up.
Popeyes.
Buddha Bands on
Oh my
Instagram.
goodness.
Send me a link. I got you. Buddha Bands on Instagram. Youth jobs. Thank you. Please. I very much appreciate it.
What's Buddha?
Buddha Bands.
Yeah, what does that like stand for?
That Buddha Bands. Buddha is me. Buddha's my nickname. Suda Buddha.
so you're giving out your IG handle.
Yeah, so they can send me jobs.
Okay, all right.
You can follow me too, though. I'm just saying.
So if anybody's watching, and they have jobs or they know of jobs, please reach out. So there you go, right here. All right, look at this. Who knows
Taco
this
Bell?
guy right here?
Who is that?
Who knows
I
this
can't-
guy right here?
Oh, it dropped.
Burger King and Taco Bell. Listen, I'm there with him. I started at Burger King too.
My mom started at Taco Bell.
There you go.
Yeah.
So listen, right? It's not too far off, guys, right? Once again, I know it might not be the preferred destination, but some experience is better than no experience. And you'll be surprised, right? In a lot of those food industries, there's a lot of hours there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hours there. Okay. So you might you might be like, I don't want to work. But you know what? Once that paper starts stacking up, you might feel a little different.
Yeah, I like paper.
Yeah. I don't know anybody. I don't know any teens that don't like paper. But yeah, that's something to think about, right? It's something to think about. Once again, you have Coach Dolu. He started in the food industry. Like I said, if you ask, I would say 90% of your parents will say they started in the food industry because that's the easiest job to get. All right,
But
and
it's
then
the
you go from
hardest.
there. The hardest would be probably retail.
I do retail. I don't think it's hard.
No, the hardest to
Start with.
get in to start right
I
away.
started in retail.
You're the 10%. You're the 10%. I said 90%. All right, but that is the thing. You have to you have to get out there, and sometimes you have to put yourself where you may not necessarily, but it's adding to your job experience. All right. Anyone want to add to it before we bounce out of here? All right. So so in case you're just tuning in, right? These the youth that I have here are all part of the Parks and Recreation podcast that we completed. When was it? In May? It was May.
Besides
right?
this
End of
one.
school year.
It was May. It was beginning of May, right into almost almost towards the end. They were part of the 84 Movement podcast, in which we talked about vaping. And they are here now in studio in the WMB1 radio studio. We're just kind of freelancing, kicking it. I want to keep them attached and talk about things that matter to them. So a lot of the subjects that we talked about today are subjects that are heavy on their minds and stuff that they're thinking about. And we are going to do another podcast in August to stay connected and to hopefully roll right into September with new podcasts and moving forward. So if anybody wants to know how to get involved in the podcast, reach out to New Bedford Parks, Recreation and Beaches, and or you can ask anybody here on the panel, and they'll tell you how to get in. Right?
I know a lot of people that's gonna-
Oh yeah, I'm sure the word's out now. But yeah, you can come in here, have a good time, talk, and also be rewarded for it as well. So reach out to anybody who's on this podcast who you see, or once again, reach out to New Bedford Parks, Recreation and Beaches. You can go to the Andre McCoy Center, right, and find out information about it there as well. All right. So you guys want to say anything before we sign out?
At Buddha Bands.
I think they know your handle already.
Snipe hire us.
Yeah, hire us.
Anyone hire me.
All right. With that being said, we're gonna sign off, and we'll see you again sometime in August. All right. Everybody say goodbye.
But
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.